Hello.
Hi. Thank you for finally getting here. Can we start with
Yeah, that's
apologizing that there was no episode 3? It was actually my
there was
fault.
no to.
I, yeah,
You
I
don't
think
have to.
I can.
You
Was it? It was
have to
actually
take the
all of
blame.
our faults.
It's always
No,
my
but I
fault,
feel like
and
I
the
canceled
book
last
stops with
minute
me.
though. Didn't I cancel last minute?
I can't remember. It's been a very hectic. As like guys, look, there are like 5 shows going on right now. We're bound to like. It's been a very hectic couple of weeks. So
Yeah.
we we
And
had to
we've been
miss one or two.
traveling. So that's also
We have
not
been
been
traveling.
really, yeah, that's also not helped. Um, so I can't
Some of my
see the
closest friends got
zigzag
married.
thing on my end. I don't know if I'm recording. I really hope I'm recording on Zencaster.
You're
It's
you're
just
recorded. Just so
okay.
you know, I'm
Okay,
keeping this
great.
thing. This you calling it zigzag thing. I'm keeping that in.
What
So
is it?
let
What's
the
the name?
listeners know.
Frequency something. What is it called?
Frequency
Whatever, man.
waveform, we can just call it zigzag.
I'm
Zigzag thing is
I'm
perfect. I like it.
literally I'm literally a guest on the show. I don't have my own podcast,
Yeah.
although that might be something that will happen soon. But I don't know what I'm going to talk about yet. And I don't even know if I want to do it.
So
But
go
anyway,
for it.
all of this aside, zigzag thing. People have been telling
Mm-hmm.
me to do a podcast, to have like a podcast and whatever, that they'll just listen to me chit chat. And it just seems like a lot of work. Like, I can't imagine being done with this recording and then having to edit. That's fucking insane.
Well,
I have
so
zero
you don't
interest.
have to be a masoch. You don't have to be a masochist like me. You could find like an
And
institution
then
that will help you do all of
and
that.
then pay money. Oh my goodness.
Well, you see, I mean, there are people. I'm sure you know people that
Yeah.
have products.
No, I don't
Yeah,
use my
maybe
friends for free labor. That's bad. That's
not
poor. That's actually abusive.
not for
If you
doing the
have friends
work.
that use you for free labor, it's abusive and you should call them out. I'm calling out
I
all of
meant
Bankole's friends that use him for free labor right now. I may not know
I
your
don't think
name
I have friends that
immediately,
use me
but
for free.
stop that. Stop that. Okay, I'm done.
Should we talk about yellow jackets?
Yes, let's do that. Let's do that.
Um, let's do that. Okay.
Mhm. Also, hi Chinaza, we miss you. Hi Farida, still missing you. Second podcasting, third season, but it's cool. Okay,
Where
I'm
to
done
start?
shouting out. In Bangalore obviously hates you guys and didn't bother to, at least acknowledge your absence, but it's fine.
If they cared so much, they'll be here. If they cared so much, they'll be here. Let's talk
Yeah,
about
but
yellow
we
jackets.
didn't do the intro. You didn't do that intro thing that
That's
happens.
that's what I'm about to do now.
Oh,
So
okay,
that was
okay,
just
but you're
us
just
doing
going to still keep.
pre-show banter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is that one that comes up that does this, and then the music will not be. And then I say, wait, we have this. Okay. I'm with you. I'm with you. What did you call it? What was the English for it?
I just called it pre-show banter, man. It wasn't
Okay, pre-show
English.
banter. Pre-show banter. Guys, contrary to how this is making things seem, I actually have impeccable English, just so you should know. But
I
yeah,
don't think
anyway,
anyone said you did it.
grammar, vocabulary,
Okay.
everything. Just all the stuttering
We-
is it's tired. I'm tired. Yeah. Anyway, go on.
Okay.
Let's talk about yellow jackets.
Okay. Hello and welcome back to the Popcorn for Dinner podcast. And welcome to Wilderness Sport. Also, maybe welcome to I look like I'm in Bankole. So I do apologize for my outlook. Today we're covering
I'm sure you can
episode
tell where
4.
he is from his
That's rude.
from
That's
his
that's
background.
self-hate. Today we're covering episode 4 of Yellow Jackets right before the Honorable and Antler Queen Natalie. And joining me today, guys, this is a good episode for her because guys, she's the most qualified lawyer in the wilderness. It's Dumebi. How are you doing?
Period. I don't do criminal law though, so this would not be my scene.
I
But I'm
mean,
good.
that's assuming that what they did here was law. Like, I mean, they tried their best to be fair.
Well,
Well,
it's
like
it's wilderness criminal law.
this is wilderness criminal law. Um,
Exactly. But
where
I'm
we
doing
swear
well.
on a deck of cards, not not the Bible.
That was
As
creative.
um, it was creative. You are doing well, and you weren't doing well last couple of weeks. To put your shit on,
I was
not
very
to put your shit
overwhelmed.
on
It's
these
not that
like
I'm.
yeah.
I was very overwhelmed. I'm still very much overwhelmed. I'm just replenished, if that helps. Um,
Hmm.
Honestly, as I'm about to say what I'm about to say, I understand that it's so crazy, but I had a week of paid time off to just help me, like, get back to alive again. I had a week to alive
Okay.
again. And it's so crazy that I'm saying just a week, which is 7 days out of 365 and a quarter days. That's just ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's 7 days is what I have. But anyway, let's just leave that.
I have
It
never heard
helps.
anyone call it 365 and a quarter.
Well,
Is that
I'm born
like
on the 29th of February, so I
I was
won't
gonna say,
erase
is
my
that because you're a
quarter
leap?
of a day.
So I
Yeah.
was gonna say, so is that because you're a leap year baby
Yeah.
that you said
I
that?
don't know if it is,
Yeah,
but I always acknowledge the quarter because it's not
I think it is. I think it
365, it's
is.
365 and a quarter. And then
Uh,
it's 366. So,
that's fair. I think it is because you're a leap year baby and like yeah, you don't want to erase yourself. That's cute. That's cute.
oh my God,
Um,
thank you so much. I hope that considering that all of you that listen to this, if you've never met a leapling before, you're welcome. Apparently
a
we're good luck
leapling.
and we're great. Yeah, that's what they call us. Leapling.
Okay.
So you're welcome, and you're also welcome for all the good luck that this has ushered into your life. And of course, as you know, you can only get this on Popcorn for Dinner Pot. So again, shout out to Bankole. And if you haven't subscribed at this point, you are wrong. What are you waiting for? Subscribe before I take my good luck back. Okay, carry on,
Oh
Bankole.
wow. Okay, that's perfect. Other things you can get only on Poker for Dinner podcast are our coverages of Severance, of The White
Mm-hmm.
Lotus, of Invincible, of the like biggest players of at the Oscars. Check all of that out. Okay, we're going to talk about episode 4 of Yellowjackets, which is titled 12 Angry Girls and One Drunk Travis, which is obviously a play on the famous courtroom film 12 Angry Men. It's written by Julia Bicknell and Terry Wesley and directed by Jennifer Morrison. Before we go into episode 4, obviously, as you mentioned at the top, we didn't cover episode 3. So let's just pick out a few things from 3 that I won't touch on. I think the main thing is obviously this shared communal dream that Akila, Shona, and Van have. As the biggest proponent of the spirituality angle, what do you want to say about that?
So before I answer, Bankole, where are you on the fence? Where are you with
Oh,
this spirituality thing? Are you
I
still
told you
one
I'm all
leg in
in.
or no, no, is
No,
a
no, I'm
lie.
all
You
in.
didn't tell me last week. Last time
I
I
said it.
extracted it from
Okay.
you. So now I want you to come to it yourself. Where are you now? After given episode
So
3, where are you now?
yeah, I think, but here's the thing about the show. The show does take like the show is still, and to be, it's fair, but they're still doing like, hey, this is spirituality, but this is an explanation. Like immediately he was
I
like,
said this is
oh,
a
I think they're toxic
supernatural
guys. Yeah,
show.
yeah.
This is a
So
supernatural.
like
We
I said,
have fully
I
moved
think
to
the show is gonna
supernatural
go.
now.
Yeah, I think they're gonna
Yeah.
go full on to supernatural, but they are not. They've not yet committed, which I don't think. I think it's too early to fully commit. They are still like trying to put in
Mm.
like little. Oh, it's toxic gas, so like it could still go either way. Um, so yeah, it's a bit weird watching this simultaneously with Severance. I don't know if you watch Severance, maybe what has
I
like
haven't
another.
been very religious, no. Do you know
Okay,
it?
so we
Can
need
I
to get you on
confess? I
Severance.
know it's a good show. And I know you've
Oh, you're gonna
recommended
say
it to me
something.
when I messaged and like I was looking for something to watch. And I watched like the
Uh,
first 2 episodes. And I think it was giving me slow burn when I didn't want to burn slowly. And so I just, left the P. So maybe I'll come back to it. But honestly, like, it's just like, how I
I
said
mean,
in episode 1 and 2 that this Yellowjackets, I wasn't really. But you see this episode 3 and 4, they were like, hey, I heard you, Dooms.
I knew.
I heard you. Say less.
um,
Because what they did with episode 4 last scene, I literally messaged Bankole. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what happened? But yeah, it's okay, guys. Thank you for listening to us at Popcorn for Dinner podcast and for stepping shit up. Although I know that you recorded this obviously before we did our recording and whatever, but just I'm gonna take it
Okay.
that you received feedback. So thanks. Carry
Uh,
on. Okay, you asked
yeah.
me a question,
But to your
but answer my
question,
question
yeah,
first.
but just
hmm
yeah. To your question, I personally do. I'm all in the spiritual angle. I think that's kind of the thing. I think there is some semblance of spirituality and wilderness bullshit
hmm
in there. But I still think like the show is not ready to fully commit, and I think that's fair. Um, so
Know
you
what I
go ahead.
think? You make
Mm-hmm.
a good point that they still do this thing of always toxic gas, da, 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 and play with our
Mm-hmm.
minds. But I don't really take that as them not wanting to commit to supernatural fully. I take it instead as them
Mm-hmm.
saying that supernatural is always there. But you know that bit where Marie was saying like she thinks there are multiple realities, like all of it is real. Like you can see the really bad, terrible stuff, and then you can
Mm-hmm.
see the stuff that aren't so bad and terrible, and the really bad stuff is just there lurking and waiting in the shadows until it comes up. I kind of feel like that's what they were trying to do with this. That's what they've been trying to do with this whole we're really like going deep into like supernatural stuff, but then we're just going to throw a bit of fact that can maybe make things a bit foggy, but it's
Mm-hmm.
still like I don't know. I don't know that they're trying to say either or. I think they're trying to say both of them intertwined. That's kind of how I've been reading it. So that's why from the get-go I was like, yeah, nah, this is some supernatural stuff
Mm-hmm.
here. Because I just felt like they've woven them together like from the get-go. But I just found that dream bit really, because I don't even want to call it a dream. That was a bloody nightmare because the bit about using Shauna's baby and then her swimming to the baby and just not moving, that that
Yeah.
was so terrible. I felt physical pain. I felt physical pain. I was just
Uh-huh.
like, oh my God. I wanted to push her, like I wanted to push her forward because it's like it's because she was just doing so much, and then the camera would like. First of all,
Yeah.
excellent cinematography. Is this videography? Is this cinematography? Even if it's not
Cinema,
like cinematography. Okay, great.
cinematography.
Excellent,
Yeah. Yeah.
excellent cinematography with like giving us the different angles. Because at first I was like, okay, she's moving and swimming towards the baby, and then they like moved it like out, and like I was like, okay, she's not moving at all. And insane that that small baby was now calling her mommy, that was just evil. That was just evil. That was so unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like she could have just seen the baby without hearing the baby call her mom and then just wondered, oh, is this my baby that died? Rather than doing all of that and then
Yeah.
making it impossible for her to swim to the baby when the baby's just standing in the ocean and the waves can just come and wash the baby away. Look, all of that. That was just a lot. And then the van
Mm-hmm.
bit with the fire. The first of all, the van one was just, I think, actually, what I noticed with all of them was it was almost as though the dream wanted to lead them into a false sense of security. Like it was at first very
Mm-hmm.
calm, like how they do, how they usually act when they've done the shrooms, like so floaty, so
Mm-hmm.
nice. Oh, you're hearing the what was it, sheep bleating. Oh, you'll found like a
Mm-hmm.
nice cabin with like a nice rocking chair. You're just rocking and closing your eyes, chilling. Oh, you're so peaceful in the middle of the ocean, floating on your back. Like all of these are really, really relaxing things. And then just all
Do
of
you
a
know?
sudden, like, yep, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I said, do you know what it reminded me of? Jackie's death.
What?
Because you remember her visions. She got like the coffee. She was warm in her chair, and it's like she basically fell
Yeah.
into like a dreamlike state before dying. So it was like you
Before
massage you
freezing to
into death.
death. That was
Yeah. So that
literally
was
it.
kind of
That was
especially
literally
with
it.
Van, because Van was warm. That was the main thing I
Mm-hmm.
thought about. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you. It was like a false sense of security before like the hammers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it just kept getting worse. And even like when they then went into the classroom was so familiar. It was like, oh my God, like all of a sudden we're in like what is normal, right? Like we're back
Mm-hmm.
in high school in the middle of a random class with Lottie, the weird teacher, but still like we all know each other. Oh, Jackie's even here. Like it's a little reunion. I just felt like,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest, that Jackie was even there was a red flag. Once I saw, I said, this is not a good, that is not a good thing. And then I said, no, 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 no. Someone is gonna die here or whatever. And in my mind, as a Nigerian babe, I just understand that if you die in your dream, you have died in real life. And I don't know where I heard this from, but you are not supposed to die in your dream.
Somewhere.
So
Yeah,
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 you've heard
yeah.
it before, right? Exactly. So what I said,
Yeah, of course, of course.
I was just like, what's happening? What's happening? But I just thought it's been a while since we saw Mean Jackie. So it was refreshing to see Mean Jackie. I feel like before
Uh-huh.
she died, I mean, say for when she and Shauna had the exchange, she was doing too much to be like super nice. And I just didn't believe that she was that nice until like, because
Okay.
you just can't be that popular and that nice. It's not real. Especially in like American high school, it's not real. Stop it. It's not real.
Okay.
And then you're like the captain of a soccer team. Stop it. Stop it. She wasn't like, stop it. But anyway, yeah. So I just thought that that was just really interesting and how they now use that opportunity to like big up the role of Aquila, which we're still yet to see fully manifest. Because they've been
Hmm.
introducing Aquila with like, oh, someone that, that's why the animals like her. And then in her own dream, it
Yeah.
was that, oh, she went to the animals and all of a sudden an animal is talking to her and then telling her, oh, they're calling you. And then the tree starts speaking to her. And then she goes back into the classroom scene and Lottie's like, Aquila, save her. Like, save her or we'll all die. So it's like,
Hmm.
again, Aquila is not really the one in power yet, but it seems as though she's the one that has the power. So I thought like, I really wondered like
Yeah.
what I've
And I
said a
should.
lot, but I hope I'm making sense. I was just really like I was a bit more interested in like finding out, okay, so what's it gonna be with Aquila? Like what's her story? And I thought they would even give us a snippet of Aquila as an adult. I was hoping that they would, but I mean, they didn't. But I think that we will meet
Yeah.
her soon. We may meet her soon or at
If
least
she's.
find out what
I
happened
mean,
to her.
I think. I think first day first, I need to hold my hand up, and I was like, because I was like, I was dubious about whether Travis actually heard the wilderness say that they wanted Aquila, but it looks like that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
So I can
Mm-hmm.
like hold my hand up there. And I do think that whole dream was really it, everything seemed, at least for me, the thing I took out of it was like
Mm-hmm.
this was basically pushing Aquila into taking this role. Like it's very weird, like that they chose Shauna, Van, and Aquila for this.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
because Van, if you obviously it's been a while since what season two, but if you think about it, Van at a point has been Lottie's biggest like acolyte, really. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you remember, I don't know if you remember that time that she speaks to Travis, and she's like, "Let your brother save you" in the season two finale. She's like one of the first people that offers an offering to Lottie. So at point, she's been Thaisa even only starts going to those meetings because she wants to be with Van. So like at points, Van has always been very pro it. Sean has always been very
Mm-hmm.
anti it. So just a very, I was like, why are they really doing this? And I think some of that comes up at the end of four. But yeah, that was very interesting to me. Speaking of Van and Thaisa, some things happened with them in episode three that I think we can discuss when we're discussing them in episode four. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe we'll just
I
go
actually
straight
can't
into
even
four.
remember at the top of my head. Oh, is it
Oh
with the
yeah, so it's
doctor?
yeah, so just basically Van's cancer diagnosis and everything. Um, I have three options for you, and then you tell me where you want to start with four. We can do Van and Ty, which I think is the least heavy one in terms of content, or we can do Wilderness Court, or we can do how the episode ends, which I know you really want to talk about.
Do you know what? I really enjoyed Wilderness Court. I thought it was very interesting. It was
Hmm.
interesting.
Hmm.
I think that.
Wait, can I tell you my thoughts on Wilderness Court before you start? So it's because obviously, as someone who I liked one and two more than you and Chinaza, I felt myself like on a back foot in three and four because I was like, I felt like I was defending, like
Really?
I wanted, but I wanted them to not fall my hand, if that makes sense. So
Mm.
I was like, oh, please don't make me look like an idiot for defending you in one and two. So like Wilderness Court, I kind of went on a journey with it where I'm like, oh, really? Are you gonna? How are you gonna convince us that this makes sense? Like, are you gonna do this? And then the more I went, and I was like, oh, I'm actually really on board with this. I like because I think it's the right level of like stupid and campy, and also like what teenagers would do in the wilderness, and also like it's a TV show, so
Mm-hmm.
fuck it. And then they used it to kind of get some real pathos from it. And I was like, oh, actually, you've actually made this really work. And so I actually went on a journey with it where I was like, oh, I really, really like this idea. And it makes sense because I think Nat wants to do it because she really doesn't want Ben to be found guilty. She doesn't want them to have to kill Ben.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Mm-hmm.
I the way I'm reading is that every other one of them decides to do it because they need to give themselves a reason to kill Ben. I think if they does, except maybe Shauna, because Shauna is a psychopath right now.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like if they kill Ben, they will feel terrible. But if Ben is found guilty, quote unquote, and then they kill him, it feels like justice. So it kind of gives them like a reasoning to their madness. That's the way I'm reading it. That's what I'm trying to believe. Like
I wouldn't
I
say
would do if I was
madness.
in
I
the
would say
situation.
bloodlust. Yeah. You know
Fair, yeah.
how I can't remember who said it, but we had recently said that maybe maybe this episode, maybe last episode, or maybe the
Mm-hmm.
finale of last season, we had said that
Season
we
two,
really
yeah.
think that they're gonna get violent. And not
Mm-hmm.
violent in like a survivalist way, but violence for the heck of violence. And I think that that's
Mm-hmm.
what this
Mm-hmm.
whole Ben thing felt like to me. Because I don't think that they were feeling bad for having to kill Ben, but I think they wanted to be able to logic it. Do you see what I
Yes,
mean? So they
justified.
wanted to be
Yes,
able to say
yes.
consequence, action and consequence, like cause and
Consequence.
effect. They
Yeah.
wanted to be able to justify like their
Mm-hmm.
bloodlust or their violence. And I feel like Nat was really struggling. And to be honest, I think Nat has struggled the entire time in the wilderness. Like her humanity
Mm-hmm.
has, I think, stayed the longest, or has been the most pure, if I were to say it
Mm-hmm.
in that way. Like she's yeah, I don't know. I just feel like her humanity has been the most pure for whatever reason. I don't even, maybe because her own background was so fucked up before she went there. So it wasn't as
Mm-hmm.
though this was so much of a different life for her. But like just,
Yeah, yeah.
so that's how I felt like the trial that she suggested was her way of saying, look, like, you know, let's see and let's give this a chance. But I really enjoyed it because I felt like I agree with everything you said about like the court thing, but I think it also allowed us to see something we hadn't really seen in a while, and that's just that
Okay. Like what?
teacher who loves his students and students
Mm.
who actually love their teacher chemistry. Because I do think that if Shauna didn't bully them and do that whole power
Mm-hmm.
thing that she did,
Mm-hmm.
and they kept asking the questions, he would not have been voted to die. But because she was bullying, like she was literally staring down Lottie, like, I will kill you. I will. She looked at them and said, I dare you. She dared them. No, 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 100%.
um,
She said, she looked at them and said, I fucking dare you. And you see that kind of this thing she had there. I want to embody it. I want to look at somebody and tell them, I dare you. Because, like, even just look at the fear, like the fear to maintain eye contact, the fear to, like, even Lottie was just like,
so I
because
don't. Lottie's the work. I don't think Lottie is bullied by Shauna. I think Lottie votes for a different reason,
I don't
but I
think
don't
it
know
was,
what.
no, I think Shauna, the entire thing, whether she felt bullied by it or not, the fact of the matter is that
Mm-hmm.
whether Lottie felt bullied or not, the fact of the matter is that she was bullied. But you know how
Oh
they
no,
had
no,
been
yeah,
foreshadowing,
yeah,
they had been foreshadowing different like antler queens and different factions and
yeah.
whatever. I do feel
Mm-hmm.
like that moment there was something watching Shauna. There was like a power shift,
I
and they
think,
showed it
yeah,
cinematographically through the with like through, you know how they do that thing that's
no,
looking at
wood,
them in the,
yeah, yeah. They like
exactly.
the
They did that with
island.
Shauna, and I felt the power shift. I felt like something move in the air. And I think that's what Lottie listened to. And that's why Lottie put her
This is
hand up.
interesting. Okay,
Not just because
because
Shauna was like staring her down, but Lottie looked in
mhm,
the direction of that, the woods, the trees. And she looked
yeah,
back at Shauna and she put up her hand. Prior to that, her hands were down.
in my head, that was what Lottie saw. She saw that like the
Yeah.
wind going through, and I think she
Hmm.
sees something, maybe not it, but she sees something in Shauna because she's really watchful of Shauna from that moment. Even when Shauna is like holding Melissa's hand, Lottie's really like, huh. And it's funny because like Shauna is the big person here, right? The big bully. But really,
Mm-hmm.
Lottie is the one
Mm-hmm.
that helps her win this thing. Because when Lottie says
Mm,
yes, then Travis says yes, then Akila says yes. So it's like almost like a caucus. Like Lottie brings her people, like because Shauna was able to get
mm,
Lottie, she was able to then get Lottie's people as well. Um,
mm-hmm.
so Lottie was the one that actually does tip it eventually, and I was like, why do you vote for Shauna? Because like she's not, even when you see her face, she's not voting like, oh, I've been convinced or I'm scared. She's like,
Mm-mm,
no, I
mm-mm.
think you are the person
It
to
seemed like she
follow.
followed instruction.
Perfect. That's actually a perfect
I
way of
felt
putting it.
I
Yes.
felt like she followed instruction. So that was it. And
Yeah.
but do you know what? I felt that when it was just Lottie and Travis, and Lottie walks
Yeah.
towards Travis before she even sees anything, and she goes, "Travis, what's that? What's the matter? Or
Mm-hmm.
whatever." I can't remember exactly. I can't remember verbatim
Is
what
what's
she
that? But
said.
he says
And
that's the
then
outcome
he
because of what he
said,
was drawing.
"Yeah." And he says that's the outcome, and it's like someone lifted up and three bodies. And for a second, I was like,
Uh-huh.
So was it that the wind was blowing towards Travis, giving Travis insight into what he was drawing? Or was it directed at Shauna? Because remember, Travis was hearing the voices, and then the
Mm-hmm.
voices were speaking to him. So he was actually able to decipher what they were saying to him. That's how he knew that Akila was the chosen one and it wasn't him, which made him
Yeah.
sad. But it
Mm-hmm.
almost seemed as though, oh, finally, they've told me something and I've put it down on paper. So I was just like, okay, so the
Yeah.
wins, were they like for Travis or were they for Shauna?
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I
But
mean,
either
well,
which way,
yeah.
Lottie heard it and reacted to both, which was
Lottie
now
had
what
it,
my
and I think
confusion was. Mm.
just a few quick things. I mean, we should mention that Akila, after having her her group dream, she's like, okay, Lottie. She goes into Lottie's juju camp. She was like, okay, maybe you were onto something. Let me listen to you, which I guess is fair
Mm.
because she was resisting it at first, but then she went through her
Mm-hmm.
experience. When Ben is on the stand, even me, I started to wonder if he even caused the fire.
Even me
Like
too. But you
I
know
was
how
like, did
I
this guy
said that
cause the
time that
fire?
maybe it wasn't him. You know how I said that time that maybe he wasn't aware that like maybe you know how
Uh,
we were saying when in the cave when he was doing the conversation, like he was probably not talking to him. Like
mm-hmm,
it was he's out of it. Maybe his like
mm-hmm.
personalities have split. Or he's like, Taisa are mad. Because we're only seeing the
Shadow
split with
tie.
Thaisa.
Yes.
That's the English we called her. Shadow tie. So it was like giving like tie and then shadow tie. So I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
what if Coach Ben, what
Oh,
if he also had a shadow Ben and the
yeah,
shadow Ben burnt the cabin and he has no recollection of it because Thaisa doesn't remember what shadow tie does. She doesn't know.
yeah. I don't know. I still think it was Ben that burned. I'm just like, why would Shadow Ben? Like, what does he have to? Why would he want to do that? I
Then
still
why
think
are
it
they
was Ben
doing
that
this
did it.
thing with him having the split and talking to people randomly and,
I don't know. I
talking
don't
to
know.
himself? I don't know.
Okay, on the Ben thing, do you think he's dead next episode? Do you think they kill him?
I don't know why something makes me feel like he finds another way to escape. I can't lie to you.
Yeah,
But then
I feel
again,
like
because
him
of that
dying.
Travis drawing, maybe not.
Yeah, fair. Just quickly, I was
Um,
thinking when I was trying to rationalize why they were doing the Tron, I was like, oh, actually, these guys have not killed anyone. Like, obviously, they've eaten two people, but they've not killed either of them. Obviously, Jackie dies in the snow, and then Harvey falls into the ice. So they've not actively killed
no,
any.
they killed Harvey. No, stop it. They passively killed
No, no,
Harvey.
no, no, no.
Stop that
Yeah, they passively
immediately.
keep, but like it's like they saw him drowning and didn't help him. Like they didn't push. I mean, I guess Misty
Bankole,
pushed
I
Christoph.
want you to
But
understand
no,
something. Bankole, I want you to understand something.
yes,
If you see me
yes,
drowning and you did not help me, you killed me.
yes, I killed you. But my point is like they haven't like premeditated. That's the word to use. They have not done
Okay.
premeditated murder killing so far, as compared to what they would have done to Coach. What Shauna wanted to do to Coach Ben, which was literally just put him on
Mm.
the floor and pop his head. Like they've not kind of got to that level yet, which I think is something that they will get to.
Do you think
Um,
Shauna is the instigator of the violence? Do you think she's the key to the violence? I do.
I think so. I think so. But also, Shauna is stressing me out right now. Shauna is stressing. This is like I don't think
She's
we've ever
really been
had both.
annoying.
I don't think we've ever had
She's really
both
been
teenage and
annoying.
adult Shauna be annoyed at the same time. Like this is
Yeah,
really
no, we
tough.
have never.
This is really tough. Normally, one of them is like cool and the other is annoyed, but like to have both annoyed at the same
They were
time is
like,
like
you guys
it's
have been
tough, man.
liking this
Like
Shauna babe too much. Let's deal with you. Let's fix that.
okay, so before we speaking of adult Shauna, before we go full on to the adult jackets part, is there anything with like the court case that you want to discuss that we haven't mentioned?
I spoke about how I thought it was smart to put him on the stand.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that it was a nice, refreshing thing to see in the wilderness that we hadn't seen since. That whole doting teacher,
Mm-hmm.
I have a crush on my coach. Oh, he really looks out for us. Oh, he really loves his students. Da, da, da.
Mm-hmm.
Those fun flashbacks that he had for each person that just shows that, he really paid attention. I just thought it was nice. So I like that we threw that in, even though he was about to die. It was also nice to kind of see. I think Shauna has developed into the root of all violence at
Mm-hmm.
the wilderness. She has somehow been made the symbol of violence, I think, because she was
Mm-hmm.
really portrayed as aggressive as hell. She was
Yeah.
very aggressive. She was
I
very
have in my
much
notes
pro-violence.
that
And
she's an
even,
iron
yeah,
fist ruler. I have in
yeah.
my notes that she's an
And
iron fist
even
ruler.
when, did you see that she was actually moved when he apologized to her? It
Yeah,
softened
yeah,
her.
yeah.
Like you could
But she was
see like her
but she
body
was angry
soften.
that
Like,
she was angry that she was softened. She was angry that like she was
yes,
listening
yes.
to.
Because he recognized, like he admitted it, he recognized and he told her sorry. And for a second, you could see that it hurt her that she left him. You could tell that
Mhm,
from the testimony. Because in the testimony, I felt like, sure, she had anger, but it was more disappointment and hurt. And she found a way to grab onto the anger after. And it's that anger she's been holding on to since. And then when he owns up to it and he apologizes to her, at first she didn't even look like she expected an apology coming from him until he was like, I'm sorry, I'm fucking sorry, Shauna. And you could just tell that all her defenses in those few seconds collapsed.
mhm.
And then it was like somebody in her head said, Shauna, rise and pick up your anger. And she picked up her anger
Yeah,
like times 15 and said, no, you actually have to die. Like, no, you can't just be
yeah.
sorry and then I'll accept it and I'll be okay, you must die. And that's why, and I think that irritation and being softened by the apology, I think that irritation by being softened by the apology is what made her so like aggressive about convincing people to kill him.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Um, let's go to Van and Ty because in episode 3, as we had all like kind of predicted since the season 2 finale 2 years ago, Van's medical reports come out and like the cancer is can't remember what word they use, but it's not completely gone. She's not in remission, but it's kind of like not
It
spreading
has
at
stopped
least.
metastasizing.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously the I feel weird even saying this, but the logical reason or reasoning is that it was because of the wilderness and and
Yep.
Natalie's adult Natalie's sacrifice. So that kind of pushes Thaisa more into wilderness thinking
That
and
was fucking insane. That she then went hunting.
yeah, let's go straight to there because before then, she sees that the man from her vision in like a commercial from when she was a child,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, "Oh, maybe that's where I got it
Mm-hmm.
from." And they go to where the thing was, and they see a fox staring at them, and they're like, "You know what it wants? It's a lot of like reaching. It's a lot of like trying to
Mm,
connect the dots of things that might not connect." But then in episode
mm.
4, they decide to go hunting in New York City, as you say. Like they use their card.
That was insane. That was actually
Um,
fucking insane.
and they were going to kill this man. I think
Do,
Vance,
um,
like,
do you know? I don't agree with that. I
what do you
actually
think they were going to
don't
do?
think they were going to kill him. I think that they believed that they were offering up sacrifices and they believed that
Yes.
he would die, but not necessarily that they would kill him. So me, I thought that they were going there to check if he really died. But to be honest, now you've said that they were going to kill him. I guess it makes sense considering that Van was like, no, I can't do this anymore, not like this.
Yeah.
And Ty saying this is the opportunity. But I don't know. Because the way all those other ones happened, like it's an offering. You don't have to and
Well,
I guess with the way it's been with the wilderness, you've never really had
mhm.
to do the killing for the wilderness. You've just had to
So this is what I was
present the
saying earlier in
prey.
the episode, right? The two that have happened, they've not, but we don't know if they don't kill someone before they
Yeah,
leave the
but I just
wilderness.
feel like they won't kill someone in New York City where there's police, there are laws, and she's an
I
ex-senator.
we have left all realms of logic with these people. Like you can, I don't like you can see with Van,
No.
sorry, with Ty that like she's like even Van's line reading of what the fuck when they try to open the door and she find out that it's open. Van is like, what? Why
Mm,
is this happening? Like, is the wilderness real? Um,
yeah.
so yeah, and I
But
obviously
how
she
can
put
she even say that when she's the person that was there and was like, oh, because what did she say again? She said, we know what it wants. I mean, what was
you know
that
what
that
you
she
want,
said? I can't
wants
remember.
more or something.
Yes, once
Yeah,
more or something. That was
I
her
think it.
now.
I think it's one thing to say that, another thing to go kill a man in his house. Like,
I don't know. I'm not convinced that they went to kill him. I'm not convinced that
I
they went.
think
I
they
feel
were.
like they went
I
to go
don't
and
think they were.
check. But I
So
feel
what? They
like
just
I
go in
think
and.
they wait. I think they went to
Mm-hmm,
go and check. And if they
mm-hmm.
checked and he was dead, they would then take it as full and final confirmation that it is it that is working for
Oh,
them.
she.
And it is the one that is making the movement and the grounding. So they're gonna keep doing the card thing and offering it souls and letting it do the wonder.
That's the most
So
generous way
that's
of
how I
reading it. I think
process
they were.
it.
I think they were going. I think they believed that it had chosen, and they were going to kill what it chose. But
Wanted.
something that,
I just
well, I don't know if it chose this one, but someone that is dead is Lottie, which
yeah.
is how the episode ends.
I did at first, do you know, because I was working and watching it. I was
Oh,
multitasking.
don't say
And
that.
then I
Don't say that.
noticed why?
Don't. Why are you putting that out there that you're multitasking while watching? You must have full focus on Yellowjackets.
Wait, see. Everybody multitask. This is real life. We're adults. We're not Shona and Co. Anyway, so I had so I would like I it was like the last few things. So I was like, I didn't expect any big events. I just
Mm-hmm.
thought, the show is winding down. And then all of a sudden, I
Misty
just
gets a
see
text, yeah, from
Misty's
Walter.
getting a text like, "Oh, did you see something, 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 that happened
Sorry,
to?"
sorry for what happened. I heard about Lottie. Sorry, how are
Yeah,
you
sorry
doing?
for. Uh, and I was just like, Lottie, like, so when I was like, when I saw that message, I was like, that what, like, she left, like, I thought it was like Shauna sent telling her to get the fuck out of her house, that
Yeah,
somehow they just heard, and my mother was like, yeah, but why is that news? Or maybe that, oh, Shauna reached out to Lottie and Lottie snubbed her or something. Then I just see the news thing.
uh-huh.
And I'm like, wait, what? And then I'm trying to figure out, so where was Lottie? Like, what is that basement dungeon
I mean, we don't
environment thing?
know.
And why are there candles there?
The
Like,
last time we saw
it
her
just
was
felt very
when,
much sacrificial. It felt like it felt like an offering.
hmm,
Because
wow,
with the
okay.
way the candles were laid out, like a
Uh-huh.
procession kind of thing, and how she was just flat on the floor. But then it also looked like a drug den in a way. I don't know. But
And
Lottie
I
has
mean,
never really been.
the fact that she was at the base of the stairs kind of gives the idea that maybe she fell down or she was pushed down the stairs. I mean, last time we saw Lottie in the
Mm,
episode, she's leaving the bank in New York this episode. So it's like,
yeah.
what did she do at the bank? We don't know. Did she withdraw all her money? Did she move all her money to a different account? She know she was going to see somebody nefarious, all those kind of stuff. So, but I mean, the Lottie thing we'll know. I think we will know more in the next episode, definitely. But it's definitely a wrinkle
Could
that
it have been Travis? Have we
Travis,
confirmed that Travis is truly dead?
Travis,
Yeah, but have
Travis
we
is dead.
really
I think they saw
confirmed?
his body. I think they saw his
What if
body.
they faked his
I
death?
am, I am wondering though if there's a final destination kind of thing going on here where they're like everybody that left the island has to die eventually. Like, obviously, everybody
Mm,
dies eventually. That's not not everybody dies. But you know what I'm trying to say that like it quote unquote
yeah.
is picking them off one by one. First it was Travis, then it was Natalie, like
Mm-hmm.
then now Lottie. So like, is it a case of like this is no coincidence that they're all dying? Like it wants to kill all of them eventually. Like
I can't lie.
so,
I'm interested to see how Shauna dies, and I hope it's painful.
uh you've not
Sorry. I don't know.
you've
I
switched that
just
much on Shona.
I just feel like she was such a bitch this
I
episode.
mean,
Like
yeah,
on all
like
fronts.
I'm just surprised that you switched
Fronts.
completely. I mean, just quickly
I
before
haven't
we wrap
switched.
up,
I'm still a Shauna babe, but I just
but
felt like,
you hope she
calm
dies a
down.
painful death.
Cool your blood. That's how I felt about her this
One
episode.
thing on Shauna before we wrap up. So Jackie
Mhm.
in the freezer, Jackie tells her, wait, give me a second because I wrote this
And the
down.
most interesting thing about you.
Well, that was hard. But she says,
That's a bit rude.
that someone's coming for you for what you did, not just in the wilderness, but what you.
Yeah, but after. What did she do after?
I guess we'll find out. I
No,
guess
but
we'll
do you have
find.
any thoughts?
I have no idea. I didn't even know Shauna did anything. I thought she just came back and married Jeff. I didn't know she did anything when she came back.
But
So I
didn't
think
she? So that person that we were thinking was her son, and she was thinking was her son. Who was that? Because wasn't there another pregnancy?
the guy that she slept with was she never thought it was her
You know,
son.
there was one time that guy she killed in
Adam
the
Martin.
bathtub. A bit. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
Adam Martin from season one, who she slept with. Yeah, he was just a guy, just a normal guy that she slept with.
But why were
There's
we
just
convinced that he had something
don't
to
say
do with
we.
Lottie and her?
Don't say we. You were. I still don't know where that theory came from. You were. Like don't pull me into
It was
this.
me. I'm
It
sure it
was
wasn't
you.
Farida.
Aisha wasn't me. That's what I'm saying. Um okay. No, let's wrap it up with I think we've we've kind of touched everything. Jeff, my boy Jeff. Um
Just say let's
what
reverse our karma.
oh, what did he say?
Can I can
He
I
said
tell you what
something
one of my
earlier.
favorite scenes is?
Yeah.
Wait, one of my favorite scenes this one was when he said, "Oh, like so." He was talking to her. He said, "So you went to New York?" She said, "Yes." To reverse our karma, say yes by going to the shops and getting a cat. Yes, so that you could lie to them. And then she was like, yeah, gosh, yes. And it just killed me because I feel like constantly Jeff is trying to show Shauna the way, like, baby, you are not a good person. Please follow this way.
I thought it was I can't remember what he says in the car shop at the beginning. He's like something that he uses the word stop and he's like and now our brakes won't stop. So just he's just trying to connect different comic relations. Oh Jeff, love you.
Ah,
It was a
no.
hit with the old people. Much to Randy's
Oh,
annoyance.
gosh.
But yeah, let's wrap it
I
up there.
loved it.
We will be back for I not to make false promises, but I believe we'll be back every week from now to the end of the season.
Yeah,
Um,
we will
so,
be. That's a commitment from me.
yeah.
We
So
will
yeah.
be.
So yeah, we're back now. Missed last week. This is kind of a shortened episode, but I'm sure we'll be back next week with our regular deeper dive. So thank you very much for listening. Please check out
Yeah.
Severance, White Lotus, Invincible. Um, yeah, and just I don't know, share this podcast with friends, rate and review.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Um,
also, guys, I'm going to be checking the comment section of this particular episode. This comes out on Friday, right?
yes.
Okay. So, as I had mentioned, I'm a leap playing, and Friday is part 1 of my birthday because when there's no leap year, I do my birthday on the 28th and on the 1st. And I expect that if I see 30 watches, I will see 30 comments saying, "Oh my God, happy birthday to maybe. I really enjoyed this podcast episode and I have subscribed to Bankole's podcast on YouTube and on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, whatever you use. Or I don't know, I feel like we called a few others last time, where people watch this stuff, share and listen to this stuff. So that's what I want for my birthday. I want all of you to acknowledge that it's my birthday and then say, as a birthday gift to Dumebi, I have subscribed and I have ensured one person in my network, be it your family, be it your friend, be it your colleague, have also subscribed to this show. So that's it. So on Friday, I'll be watching on Friday, I'll watch on Saturday, and I'll watch on Sunday. I'll be looking out. And all of you people that have commented before, I know your handles. I hope to see you again soon.
Why are you bullying them like Shona? Okay, guys, thank you very much.
I'm doing no such thing. They're listening to the wilderness. The wilderness has instructed.
Join us next week. We'll be joined by Oscar winner Daniel Kaluuya.
You know what happens when you don't obey the wilderness?
Bye, guys.